I'm super excited because I have been invited to Naseby Reservoir to fish with a very special angler, so let's get going. So we're getting the tackle out of the van now, and I think they have just arrived, so let's go and meet them.
Hi, I'm Beedham. I'm the Ladies Carp Team England captain, and I've been with the team since it was formed in 2015. I'm a consultant for Carbon Bait and a team member at Sticky Baits.
So thank you for inviting me here today. Could you tell me a little bit more about the session and what we're going to do?
Yeah, so once we get set up, we're going to find our spots out in the lake. The fish in here are quite hungry, they'll respond to bait, so the plan will be to give them a bit of food via the spod, and then put a couple of rods over the top, one definitely on a solid and one potentially on a wafter or a spinner rig, something along those lines.
Okay, so let's go finish getting set up.
Okay, let's do it.
Once we were set up and the rods were out, Ellen took me through her bait and how she prepared her spod mix for the session.
Here they like particularly pellet and boilie, so I've got some manila here, some chops, some 12 millers that are soaked in the manila cloudy liquid already, with a little bit of the active mix on, so I've put a couple of scoops of them in, and what I tend to do is mix my bait as I go and as I need it, so I'll mix this up and this will go out within the next couple of hours, and then I'll make a fresh mix up again, and then add some pellet. Pellet has been soaked with hemp oil to give it a little bit of extra traction, so a couple of scoops of that as well, so it's a 50-50 mix so far. And then added to that I will add a couple of cans of the golden grain, which I'll put in, and I like to add that for a little bit of sight attraction, and what carp swimming around doesn't like a bit of corn. So add a couple of cans of sweet corn. There we go. I'll give that a mix round, and then to that I will add some liquid, match my boilies, and then I shall leave that for about 30 minutes to an hour, just all soak in some of the juices, and then it'll be ready to spawn back out. Okay, and that's the finished mix. So as I said, like the corn's in there for sight, you've got your 12mm boilies, your chopped 16mm, and the pellet.
Despite regular spotting and recasting of our rigs throughout the day, there was still no signs of fish in front of us. So with the barbecue lit, it was time to sit back, enjoy some food, and hopefully it wouldn't be too long before our first bite. However, it wasn't until 7:45 that night I had my first take. I wasn't expecting what happened next. After a carp had taken my rig, a pike attacked the line and I ended up landing both pike and carp.
So hopefully now the fish are starting to move on as the wind's pumping in. This was after a recast, a further bait this morning, and it ripped straight off. Yeah, 31 on the nose.
So it looks like the fish are starting to wake up now because you've got one at 21 and a half.
21 and a half, yeah.
And then I have a new PB at 31.
31 on the nose. Boom.
Yay!
Part of a triple take.
Yeah.
And this morning, what did we do? We got up and had a recast, freshened up some bait, and away they've gone.
Yeah.
Boom.
time with Ellen, I was able to sit down and ask her some questions about her angling experience. So, Ellen, could you tell us a little bit more about how you got into angling, and have you always been a carp angler?
Right, so I got into angling pretty much like most people do. My dad took me when I was a kid. Wasn't carp. We did a lot on the River Trent, on the steps by the football ground when I was quite young. He then gave up fishing, and I did. And then when I moved to sort of the Coventry area, I live near a canal. I started fishing in the canal. Then moved on to commercials, and then I caught my first carp, and here I am now.
So what would you say has been your most memorable experience whilst out and back?
It's got to be representing my country. I think the World Cup in France 2019 was an experience I'll never forget.
And you recently went to France. Can you tell me a little bit more about the fishing while you were there?
So I went to France in April, and to a place called Beedham. I've been there lots. That's got to be me 10th, 11th time I fished it. And had a PB that I've had for ages of £52. So I went in April, and Big Fish Thursday happened for me. Part of a triple take. I had a £69.12 common, and then followed up the next morning with a £64 mirror. So that's something for me to remember. And going back next April to try and to smash them.
So we're here at Naseby, and what do you like about this particular water?
It gives me the opportunity, one, to catch fish. I love venues where I can keep them bobbins dancing, and the harder you work, the more rewards you get. Also, because of my match fishing, it gives me the opportunity to practice new techniques. I can cast as far as I want to without hampering anybody, so I get to practice that kind of thing. Again, with the spodding, it just keeps me in tune for the match side of it, obviously for the England side of it. Yeah.
So what bait do you use, and what would you say is your favourite?
Okay, so I use obviously the Particle. I'm sponsored by a consultant for carbon bait, so I use a lot of their Particle, their hemp, their maize, their Particle mix, which gives me a great option to fish over, particularly my style of fishing. Draws the fish in, it keeps them grubbing around. And then on a boilie front, which I like to put a bit of boilie through them because I like to feed them as well, so I use Manila. I love Manila. It's what I caught my big fish from in France. And with that I use like normally the matching liquids to the boilie I'm using, so the Manila cloudy liquid. And then what bait, if it's got to be live bait. If I could pick one bait, you got to look at the worm or the maggot. You look at how that outfishes like any other bait, doesn't it? So if I could only use one, then it would be live bait.
And what is it like being ladies carp teaming and captain, and what advice would you give to anybody who's maybe interested in trying angling?
So I'm immensely proud to represent my country and then to actually lead the team as well. It's hard to put it into words, but it really does, like, you know, proud, honoured to do it, and to represent your country in something I love doing. You know, every opportunity I'm out on the bank, so that's great. And advice, keep at it, enjoy your angling, keep going, ask questions. There's no stupid question out there. Just if you think it, ask it, and get on the bank, practice, tap into some of the girls, see, you know, like you're out with me. You know, we're open to people to come and fish with us, to come and talk to us, to ask us questions. Yeah, it's just get out there, practice, and enjoy your angling.
So Ellen, they've definitely turned up on the spot now, haven't
They have, yeah, they've moved in on this wind, and regular recasting and spomming's obviously bringing them in and keeping the bites coming.
Awesome, so let's get it back and see if we can catch a few more.
Lovely, let's do it. Low 20 to get us started again, same as yesterday. Recast, bit of bait over the top, switches them back on, obviously after a bit of a quiet night.
Thank you so much for inviting me here. I've really enjoyed it, and I've cooked PB, and here we have another 10 AM salmon.
Yep, so glad you've really enjoyed it. You're welcome, and well, until the next time, and we'll catch a few more chunks like this.